Don't get me wrong. I always tell them, don't get me wrong for you to think that I don't like your friends. No, I like your friends. And even for Joshua, I look after his friends. They stay with us for years. And until today, they're still there. I just say, I love your friends. I like your friends. But whatever they bring to the table to your life, whatever they say to your life, you should not take that as a thing to follow, or it's supreme over and above the things that you hear from home, from your family and God. Because when you are able to, have that priorities in your life, it defines what you do. And not only for the children, this goes for couple as well. Because kebaka kemrobiwatini kung gayo lomana dinanum klo, o ke kusing mandagan nilotu, lomana no mata bobale. Ni kusa lomana no mata bobale, o lomana no watimo. Iko dala ka go rivira na boni turang se rivira boni marama. Iko na sila ka no bakasama na lasa itumba. Ina sila ka no bakasama na biwali na kaiko da kabatiko. Baletiko iko kila na kaiko da kaba ena ba mabotaka na the person that you love. The person that you love. Kebala iko kila na kaiko na da kaba na mosi se maboa biko iko kila sa tikilomamo ni konto bona se kolomama. And when you bring that to your heart and your life, wherever you go, that trust is always between you two, regardless. You can be staying in two different countries, furthest, but with that trust, because you love your wife, or you love your husband, or you love your children, and you love your family, they become the defining factor for you. Wherever you go, they are always with you, even though you're physically there on your own. But it's like you're carrying your family with you, because in your heart, you have your family. And it will stop you from when they ranga, whatever that you do, to hurt the very family that you love. But when you don't have your family in your heart, when you don't have that priority in your life, then you do whatever you're doing. You are doing exactly what you're doing, because you're only reminded you have a family when you come back home and say, okay, where's mommy? Where are the children? Oh, where's daddy? Because when you reach home, then you realize, okay, I have a family. But when you're out there, you don't have a family, because it's not in your heart. And that's one thing that I continuously remind my grandchildren. That levels of reminders. Because wherever you go, you will be convicted. You will be reminded. Because I had this conversation with one of my grandsons last week. After the games, he just decided to go. Just a phone call to my daughter, or to his aunt. And her phone went off. Because my grandchildren, I always give them this directive. Wherever you go, before you do anything, you must get approval from home. You must tell us where you are. And if you have your phone with you, I will need updates all the time to tell me where you are. Because with everything that is happening, you cannot be oblivious to the fact that you are immune and you are an exemption, that nothing will happen to you. Or because you are the son or the grandson of the pastor, nothing will happen to you. No. Children are children, and everything, even us. When we go to church, or when we actually part of this ministry that we are part of, it doesn't exempt us from extramarital affairs happening in our life. There's no guarantee that that cannot happen. We are humans, and it happens. But there are ways and means that you can do to be proactive, to save your family and save your children. And it goes back to what I was trying to share. So I give that directive to my grandchildren for them to know that they cannot just up and go and do whatever they want to do.
Because of their friends.
Yeah, because of their friends. They're living in a house. They are accountable to get that, permission to be able to do that. They're not, even though the world says, when you're 18, you make your own decision, you live your own life. But you are staying in a house. You can't just make your own decision. You haven't had the ability to look after your own self, buy your own food, look after, pay for your own rent. So that independence doesn't come with the age.
The freedom comes with the responsibility.
With the responsibility.
Responsibility.
Yeah. So we had that conversation with one, like what I said, we go to church, the issues that are affecting our children and affecting the family. I always remind this in the church that we are part of. Coming to church doesn't save your marriage. Coming to church doesn't save your family. You need to be doers. You need to be doing something to save that. The church label automatically does not save you. It's you making the decision, and you living that life, and you making that impact. And that teaching, I carry that with my grandchildren. So we had a very good conversation last Saturday, because he just up and go. And and I always tell my grandchildren, I'm getting old. I'm not getting any